Hey. Hey
Hi,
guys.
welcome to episode 4 of the Dosey Doze podcast. If
Yeah.
y'all are not following us on Spot, I'm not need to mention all the things, but Satori has a YouTube channel that she
That I'm
constantly
posting
uploads.
this podcast on as well. So
Yes, so
if you're listening to it here for disregard.
yep, but Satori has a YouTube where she posts readings and general messages as well as 420 Blazits.
Yeah, which I'm about to do now.
Speaking of which, 420 is coming up.
Oh my God.
Easter.
What am I going to do to sell? It's on Easter?
It's on Easter.
420 and Easter are the same this year?
Exactly.
What?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Dead serious.
But it's 420.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I'm celebrating 420 and
You
Easter
should.
because I am a
The day that
standard.
the day that Jesus rose from the dead, you should be smoking for the dead.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I
makes
think
sense. That's reasonable.
we're gonna have like mics one day,
Yeah.
and this is
If
gonna
any
sound
of
so
y'all
much
ever want to
cooler.
help us with the mic situation,
So we'll get our own mics, hopefully, unless someone does end
I
up
mean,
doing
that's
that.
some people might have bought mics and not used them.
That's, you know what? That's a great point. I
Why
will
limit
not
yourself?
assume.
Somebody might just have a mic. They're like, oh, this is a good mic, and I was gonna do ASMR or something, but then I never got around to it.
I think we need, I want us to have nice ones though. I want us to have the mics that like, and then it wraps around, you know?
We all got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I want the ones that wrap around though, and I'm not settling.
No, no, I'm
I've
just
had a
saying.
Yeti mic before.
Yeah, the Yeti mic was nice.
It was nice, but we had to pass it back and forth.
Well, if we got a stand for it, we could just have it sit between the two of us. Or we could just have one much closer to us. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out when the time comes. But we appreciate y'all sticking with us. I know we took a 2.5 month hiatus for a little while, but we're back at it. Um, Things have been kind of crazy for us, honestly, but in a good way. Like we went through a period of a lot of self-reflection, and as a result of that, have had to deal with trapped and buried BS of the deepest and highest magnitude, much of which we share with the community, but there have definitely been things that we don't tend to talk about, which is the way that we have to take care of one another all the time and talk so kindly and help each other through our problems.
hmm I'm gonna low key turn off the camera because I don't want the camera on me the whole time. Because I feel like, this is just supposed to be a place for my voice to be
Mhm,
heard, I feel.
I agree.
So maybe I'll have it on and off. Who knows? If there's something I want to show you, I'll cut it back on. Um, but if you guys are listening, I want to say thank you for taking the time to listen to our podcast. I
Yeah.
think that's
And
cool.
if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask us.
Yeah. Is there anything any like hot topics, things you want to talk about? Anything that's been on your mind or your heart?
Honestly, today I've just been feeling really grateful for everything. It's
Yeah.
like every little thing is making me feel incredibly blessed. Getting to sit outside, watch the dogs run around, get to see you all beautified.
I do feel good today,
I appreciate how much effort you put into your appearance.
even though I don't go anywhere.
Yeah, well, and that's what I mean. It's like
I do make
you
videos.
take good care of yourself,
Yeah.
and you don't have to, but I appreciate it.
I appreciate you noticing that because it does take effort because I do struggle with mental illness. So like it really is makeup is one of the things that I do to help with self-expression. I feel like I have a hard time expressing myself, so
Mhm.
makeup is a way that I do that.
And you do a really, really good job at it too.
Thank you.
Objectively, it's really good makeup.
Thank you. I've worked on perfecting it. I used to get bullied for my makeup in high school.
I'm listening.
Well, it was very simple, really. They didn't like my eyebrows. They thought I didn't do my eyebrows good enough, or, or like someone literally made a fake account, like a anonymous account, messaged me and said, "Yo, someone should teach you how to do your eyebrows." And I was like, "Ugh."
Dude,
And ever
imagine
since high school, I've been so self-conscious about my eyebrows. Why do people say mean things?
because they are mean for themselves and
But
someone
I
else is
mean,
bullying them.
I forgive them a lot easier because it was high school.
Yeah,
But like if you act that way as an adult, that's a big problem.
yeah, because you're not the same. You should not be the same as you were in high school.
Yeah.
That's a child.
Yeah, yeah.
If you still are a child and you're in your 30s or higher, I mean, I don't know. I'd say even like your 20s, because at this point, like, I'm far kinder, but I understand that we're all still figuring
I
things
wonder
out.
if some people's brains like just stop developing after a certain age.
Absolutely.
And they're just like
Absolutely. Well, a lot of the people we have to
they like have
block,
to Patrick Star through life basically and just
well, that's what trauma does.
yeah.
Trauma rewrites your brain.
If we wise away. I definitely feel like sometimes I'm a little dense, like because of my trauma.
Absolutely.
Not stupid, but like
It takes you a second to
aloof.
grasp things, and
Yeah.
then if you don't get it immediately, sometimes you panic.
I do because when I was in school, I dropped out of high school. When I was in school, I started to really struggle with comprehension skills and like understanding what people were saying to me. Um, it was bad. It was pretty bad, but I do think a lot of that was my anxiety. I was having anxiety attacks during class.
There's a billion different things that contribute to it. You had a bad
Yeah.
home life, you weren't even eating.
I had headaches pretty much every
Your
day because I
family,
was
the people
hungry.
that actually cared about you were all dead and
Yeah,
dying, actively dying at that time.
it's
Nobody was
true.
helping you. Like, of course,
It was the worst time of my life.
you were set up for failure.
I was, yeah. And everybody was very disappointed in me because I dropped out of school, so that did not make it better.
Not that any of them were helping you to stay in school either.
So I really became unhinged and people wonder why I am the way that I am. It's because I was bullied a lot. And I'm not a bully myself. I'm more so just very direct with people. Like if someone is a bully, I'm the kind of person that says, "Hey, you're a fucking bully. Grow up." Like I get really tired of people being bullies and not getting called out for it because in this world we like to people please, but I'm tired of that. So,
Yep, cycle breaking.
yeah, we got to break that cycle of people pleasing. It's so annoying.
That's honestly, I'm genuinely really proud of the newer generations for not putting up with that shit.
Yeah.
I hope the whole generations do the healing process, but to be honest, our generation and kind of even millennials are very mental health based. So there's a lot more respect that I have for these two generations than I do for the old ones. Now, for the old ones that do like individuals who end up finding peace and comfort and expressing themselves and not being an asshole, I do have a lot of respect for those individuals because I know what it took in their generation to do that. But I'm honestly oftentimes disappointed in older generations, and I keep trying not to be, but then they
But
all
then
just keep proving that they're just not worth your time and energy.
it hurts. It hurts because, well, there's some people that I'm like, you're great, you know?
Absolutely.
You are so open-minded and cool and great. And I follow some really cool, like, Reiki masters, spiritual teachers on YouTube and on TikTok that are of the older generation are just very young
Mhm.
spirited. And those are the people that I love to work with because they're so open-minded and they've had a lot of life experiences to kind of prove that it's not a bad thing to grow and evolve and change past what you know.
Exactly.
So the older generation, I respect for the older generation if they have done the healing because it's much harder for them because they have a lot less validation from their peers.
Yep.
Their peers are a lot of them hyper religious,
Controlling.
yes, very controlling. And for them, it's a lot harder to sort of break the cycle than it is for us younger people. I don't know. A lot of our peers are uplifting us and being like, yeah, break the cycle. But
I
with them, it's
agree,
like,
except that they have financial responsibility, like they have financial independence
oh, is
and
that?
stability. And
I don't think so.
I think a lot of older generations have like they've grown up in that time period where by the time that they are old enough that we've seen them now, they've had the opportunity to kind of go through more lessons in life.
Yeah.
And what I mean by like the financial, it's like usually they kind of have more access to savings and to houses and things that these younger generations just simply don't get right now. I think those are the difference in our struggles, at least when it comes to like overcoming things, because not having a stable foundation does make a huge difference. If you're not being fed and you're worried about your housing all the time or how you're going to even pay, for something, it's that can definitely waylay your progress emotionally. And I'm not saying that they don't deal with the same thing, but I think as a generation they had better financial opportunities than we do. So those are kind of differences that I would see.
I see it, but I don't at the same time. I think it's just sort of going over my head, but I understand on a surface level, I understand. It'll click more later.
When it sits and marinates. Speaking of
Yeah,
marinade, like barbecue marinade chicken.
food. Now you're making me think about
I know I'm
food.
kind of hungry too. We can figure something out.
We'll figure something out. Did have the sweet potato, but we discussed this already.
Yep.
Certain things transpired with the sweet potato.
That's right.
Um, yeah. We left out Capricorn last week,
I heard.
and I'm
So
so annoyed with myself because I was like, da 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 da, yeah, that's everything.
I kept asking too. I was like, "Are we sure?"
No,
Because
I
I felt like
thought
I was missing something.
I don't know. I was like, well, that went by quicker than I thought it would, but okay.
Like, how did we
There was
miss?
one more
How
left.
did we miss January?
Jasmine, I'm so sorry. Jasmine is one of our closest, like she's one of our best friends, and we forgot her zodiac
Yeah, we don't
sign.
forget her birthday, just the signs.
No, we did not forget her birthday. What?
So, Capricorns. Let's go ahead and cover
I
that
feel like
subject.
I can't breathe.
It's bad today. The pollen's been pretty damn bad lately.
All right. Capricorn, you start. Do you know Capricorn?
I mean, I feel like I have
Other
to at
than
this
Jasmine.
point. Other than Jasmine, I can't think of any Capricorns that I know, honestly, but I think Jasmine is very well encompassing of a Capricorn, to be
Yeah.
honest. She's very, very quick-witted, funny. Um, she has a fire about her though. Like, and I think that applies very well to Capricorns. They have
She's
this
gonna
like,
come on the podcast.
yeah,
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 I think her fire will do well on a podcast, truly.
absolutely. I think she like Capricorns, in my opinion, in experiences, they're very like goal oriented, and they when they put their mind to something, they're going to get it done.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like they have a lot of they have a lot of healthy boundaries, but they only get those boundaries by experiencing a lot of hardship that oftentimes they end up having to put themselves through. And
Well,
I
I
don't mean it
think
like in a people pleasing kind of way. I mean that they, in my experience, they want to be very loving towards everything, and that includes themselves and everyone around them. They just want togetherness, and that can be difficult at certain junctions in their life.
I really love Capricorns because they're earth signs. They're very, very, very grounded individuals. And if you're wanting the truth, just ask a Capricorn. That's how I feel about it. It's like you can always trust a Capricorn to tell you the honest to God truth and from a grounded perspective. Like, I want to compare Capricorns to say like an Aries. Aries are known for being very honest and truthful. They'll tell you what you need to hear, but it's not going to be in the same way that a Capricorn does it. And Aries is more so going to be a little bit more like a Capricorn will just say it straight up. And Aries is going to want to sing it or like write about it or express it creatively in some way and get it out that way because they're all about like they just do it differently. They just do it differently. That's my experience.
Mm.
Aries people will say it, but they prefer to sing it or do it in an inner child way, like let the inner child express. And I feel like
You're a
sometimes you just really need the
big
Capricorn's perspective on things because it's unfiltered. You're not having to like,
get coddled.
yeah,
You have to get coddled.
you're not going to get coddled. You will grow up in a Capricorn's presence. They will be very like direct and forthright with you, and it will hurt your feelings really bad.
But
But
in a
you
good
need to
way.
hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it's gonna hurt bad, but it's like you needed
And
that.
I'm not just talking about like I've gotten, readings from Jasmine before, and they're very, very on point and accurate and always. With that being said, I've known other Capricorns who have done the exact same thing for me, but they're not nice about it. So they're like unhealed Capricorns.
Mhm.
you know? So like when they say it, it sounds more devilish and mean and cold-hearted. Whereas like a healed Capricorn is like, I understand the power of my words and how my tone will affect people. I'm grounded enough to speak with a level head and not speak for my ego. So yeah, Capricorns are superheroes in society because they bring a lot of change. I feel like a lot of Capricorns are activists and stuff like that.
I feel like they have trouble getting close to a lot of people though, because a lot of people live in their egos.
Oh,
Like they
definitely. Yeah.
challenge people real bad, so they probably honestly have a lifetime of kind of feeling lonely at times because of their struggles to connect to people. But it does save them from building false friendships or false relationships
Yeah.
because they're only going to have genuine people surrounding them.
Hmm.
There you go, Capricorns.
Oh my God, I just had the best idea.
Yeah.
We need to reach out to Jasmine and ask her if she can make us a podcast logo.
Yes.
Yes, we need to
Absolutely.
like ask her if she can make us a podcast logo.
I was using the picture that she did of you and I
Yeah.
as the podcast
Oh,
logo
right. Okay.
for now.
I think so. What I was thinking of just now was like on my YouTube, I need like a thumbnail. And I was like, wait, well, the podcast, we have like a logo anyways? I know we have that, and I love that. If I can get that on my YouTube for now, that would be great.
Nice.
If you could send it to me later.
Yeah, I'll have to find it
Okay.
to be honest, but
But no, I think it would be cool to have one with like color.
mhm. All right.
Yeah. Y'all hear the birds? That's kind of nice.
That's what I was listening to.
I don't know if they can hear that though.
What are some of your favorite foods that we've never made?
That we've never made?
Yeah, like
What do you mean?
what are some things that you can think of in your life that you've eaten that you and I have not eaten together?
We've not eaten it.
Or we
Nothing.
barely ever do,
Nothing.
really. It doesn't have to be
I
like
grew up
mega.
with Southern Baptist grandparents. All I ate was corn, rice, fried chicken,
Mm.
mashed
What
potatoes and
about fried
gravy,
okra? What do you think about that?
fried okra.
You
I
like
love
that?
fried
It's
okra.
good.
I've had that with you though.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I mean. It doesn't have to be. We've had that one time together.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, like, what are some things? Because I'm trying to get ideas together because we do have a tendency to eat the same meals all the time, and there are things that I forget that exist. But
Yeah. I think we should do like a Southern meal, like what my grandparents would have made.
I want more lima beans and more black eyed peas in my diet.
Oh yes, I love lima beans. That's a good thing. We've
I,
never had lima
I
beans
always
together.
forget that they exist
Have we?
until yeah, we have one time.
Never mind.
Yeah, one time we tried to get something they just came in a can, but they were all mushy, like not in the right way. It's like ooh, gross.
They were creamy, weren't
Yeah,
they? Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, but not in a fun way.
Like cream corn.
Yeah,
It was like that, yeah, but with lima beans.
which was a no.
Yeah.
Or some like deep fried fish sounds good right now.
Ooh, that made me nauseous. I don't
Corn,
know
what about
why.
a corn dog? Corn dog with
Oh,
some
you're
mustard
making
on
me
it.
hungry.
I'm
You
starving.
gotta stop talking about food. You gotta
I
stop
know, I
talking
know,
about
I
food.
know.
We gotta eat after this though.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sweet potato went right through me.
Literally.
Like 30 minutes later, I was like, oh,
Pop, pop.
like ran to the bathroom. Help!
I'm dying.
Get out of here while you can.
Move, bitch.
I think of white chicks.
Exactly.
Speaking of white chicks, let's talk about movies. What are we watching recently? Shawshank Redemption. We didn't
Yeah.
finish that last
Well,
night.
what are your thoughts on that so far?
It's good. It's really sad. It's actually hurting to watch. So I think that's really what it is. I'm sad that that one character died.
Yep.
Yeah, that actually made me want to sob. I was like, this is hurtful. Like, this hurts.
The whole time he's speaking, you just want to tell him to shut the hell up.
Please stop talking.
They're gonna
They're
kill
gonna
you if
kill
you don't stop
you.
talking.
Yeah. It's hard to watch. It's not what I thought it would be. I thought it would be more of like a comedy for some reason. I don't know why.
Probably because of
Maybe because of Last Man on Earth.
yep.
Yeah. And where they're talking about like they're always quoting Shawshank Redemption, but it's in such a funny way that I always thought it was like sort of a comedy. And then we went into it. I'm like, ugh!
Saw a dude get prison yeah. I couldn't think of a PG way to say that word.
Yeah, okay, whatever. We won't talk about that.
Yeah, twice. We won't talk about
Yeah.
it twice.
So yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I really want to get to the end to see what you've been talking about because you are saying that it has a good payoff at the end,
Mhm.
which I love a good payoff.
It's actually so good.
You can't tell me
I know
anything.
I can't tell you anything.
No, there's like 40, 50 minutes left to the movie. Oh, Star Wars is coming up.
Are you reading
Well,
my
May the
mind or
4th.
something?
Yeah.
That's literally what I was sitting here thinking about.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's what just I was looking at you and I had that thought.
I was just thinking about like I forgot to tell you, but I had a fun conversation with Kimmy on the live.
Yeah, I was
And I
there.
was, oh, where I
I
asked her
think,
what she was gonna get out of the new
yeah,
Lego waves.
yeah.
And I don't know, it just feels like I love our community so much.
There's a lot of really, really cool people in the community.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to focus on that right now,
Yeah,
today, especially.
you guys have so many different talents, and I think sometimes you guys underestimate yourselves.
Like, Bay made me this gorgeous cardigan for my 24th birthday,
Hmm.
and it was the best.
And the whole care package that she made
Wait,
was
I'll show
amazing.
you. Hold on. Let me flip the camera on. If you want to look, you can look now. Um, this right here. Aren't these all my colors too? It's like very Eastery now that I look at it.
Yeah, I didn't think about. Oh my God, wait! I never noticed the patches
It's
in the
perfect.
back.
It's perfect for spring, you know?
Perfect, perfect, perfect.
And I think that's maybe where she was going with that. It's just very springy. It's perfect.
Yes, it
It's
is.
amazing. Did you help her pick out the colors?
Kind of. Not all of these. She asked me like, what are some colors that she likes, and I told her I was like, well, she
There we
really likes
go.
purples and pinks and yellow. And
Yeah.
remember, I asked you what your favorite colors were that day. And you said, why do you I need to know? Or why are you asking? And I said, you'll find out later. And then you forgot about it.
You know, I showed this, but I realized I might not even like show the whole like the video itself. I might just put the logo
Oh,
over it.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Now we'll see her wearing it. She does it whenever she streams
Yeah,
or records videos. So
exactly.
you'll see it.
I
Um,
need to get you into the Just Trish podcast.
I don't like listening to podcasts, honestly. I thought
Really?
like if I'm doing something
It's so
mundane,
funny because we're making a podcast right now.
I will. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I used to listen to them all the time. But like, I don't know, since having my spiritual awakening, I don't do it as much anymore.
Yeah.
I don't sit and listen to things so much. I feel like I get in my own head when I'm just trying to listen to something. So it's like if I need to have like active engagement of more than one sense, you know what I mean?
I need podcasts. It's in audiobooks and like audio stimulation. I'm a clairaudient. Okay, that was my first gift, right beside clairvoyance that started to unlock at a very young age. So like music and podcasts and things like that. Movies especially really stimulate me in a really positive way, which is why I want to talk about movies because, well, it's a big part of how I deal with my mental health issues. So like it's coping.
Hmm.
Um, there are specific movies that are always going to be my favorite movies, like Shrek 2 and then Shrek right after the first one.
So basically, it's the Shrek.
The whole Shrek franchise. Um,
We've never watched Shrek 3 together. We started it two separate occasions and never finished it.
I just, it's a different vibe, you know? It's good, it's funny, but in a total different way from the first two, I feel.
Yeah, it was a big
It's
change.
something was very different about it. And I enjoyed the comedy, like Do the Roar. I think that's so funny, but like I can't remember much else from it.
It felt
Whereas
like it
for
tried
from
to be relatable
yeah,
and it succeeded, but it fell flat in its longevity.
the second Shrek movie is the one that is really always highlighted for me. All the characters are perfect. Fairy Godmother, that is just a comedy. It's so funny. Donkey is so funny. Puss in Boots is so funny in that one. Fiona's even hilarious at times. Like the whole fucking movie is just perfect.
And all the references as well.
Yeah.
Like that's another part of what made that movie so good is because it's an experience to watch. That's why Forrest Gump is also good. It's not just good storytelling, but it's also a billion references to history.
Yeah.
And to see him be a part of everything is so funny.
The door keeps creaking because we have the window open.
Yep.
I'm glad the window's open. It really does feel like spring today,
Hmm.
which is great, but also horrible because the pollen here is the worst.
You can hear it in our voices every day we talk. It's
Yeah,
bad.
it's pretty bad.
It coats everything.
I'm also a smoker. All right, let's call it for what it is. I am a smoker. I'm part of the problem. It's just, it is what it is. At least I'm not smoking nicotine. You
Yep.
know, no
Yep.
shame if you do. I can't shame you. I used to smoke nicotine, but like I switched to cannabis because it just was better for me. So
I just don't enjoy smoking most of the time. Like no matter what it is, it's not the after effect of the way it feels, it's just the act of smoking. I just don't enjoy that.
I love it.
I'm glad you do.
Yeah, I absolutely love it.
And,
It's just become one of my hobbies.
and that's fine. I love that
But
that
I
you have
do
something to
have to be
enjoy.
conscious of like how my body is, reacting to it. So if I'm
Mm.
doing too many hits or like if it's affecting me in a negative way, I have to know when to step back and take a gummy instead, or not take anything and
Mhm.
just chill the fuck out, you know? Every day is going to be different, and I just have to take it one day at a time. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, movies, movies, movies.
Yeah. Trying to think of some, to be honest. We were talking about Star Wars, and there's a reason I've always loved that so much is because it's in-depth storytelling and it's reflection of reality, but in a way that's not so connected. You know, it's not connected directly in the way that we talk about. Like Shrek 3 was high school, and it was genuinely exactly a reminder of picturesque of exactly what you went through, which makes it relatable, but doesn't have staying power.
Yeah.
And I find that like Star Wars is very different. It shows you the dynamics of the world around you as well as your place in it and billion different people's places in it. And that's why it's such a fun story.
Some of the Star Wars movies are way too political for my liking.
That's why I love them though.
I hate politics in movies. I'm going to movies to escape politics and to escape real life, and I don't always want to see real life. You know what I mean? And I say the same for TV shows that get way too serious and they're always serious all the time.
Yeah, the too serious part of it is what I don't like.
That is too much for me. I hate that.
But I
It's too
think
much for me.
all media is a reflection of reality. Even if it has fantastical elements, it's always reflecting the truth back to you
Yeah,
from at least someone's perspective. And
I guess there is a balance, you
there is
know?
Star Wars was intended to be a critique of the Vietnam War and American politics and a comparison between the way that it was becoming a dictatorship like, right? That's what Star Wars was always intended to be,
Yes.
but that's not what it became.
Wish it didn't show my name on here. I don't want anyone to know my last name. That's why I'm gonna have to cover it. I do like Star Wars. It's just
It's fun. It's not obviously I don't think most people are as obsessed with it as I
I
am.
like the prequels better.
Yeah,
Way better.
which is funny because they're far more political.
Well, okay, here's why. Wait, the prequels are the
The ones that came out when we were kids. 2002,
I
2005.
like Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
I want to say I don't really care about the other ones as much, unfortunately, because the second one, Attack of the Clones, I was bored.
fair. It's crazy because like on some level I agree, but I don't at the same time. I think each trilogy has some that carry it. And it's weird because if I'm gonna be objective, like I want Revenge of the Sith is my favorite out of all of them,
Yeah,
right? If
mine
we're gonna talk
too.
about the nine movies and
Yeah,
not all the extensions, we'll talk about just the nine. Revenge of the Sith is the most fun to watch
yeah,
for us. But if we're gonna go trilogy based, the original trilogy is better because the whole trilogy is built better.
yeah.
It's more succinct. Um, and it gets better with each one that comes out. I gotta be honest about that. I think like A New Hope is great. And then I think Empire Strikes Back, even better. And then Return of the Jedi is for me still better than the first two, just because of the payoff of everything culminating. And it's like the way that movie ends makes me feel so good. But it wouldn't be possible without the other two. That's the thing. So as a trilogy, it's perfect. I don't even get into the sequels. I mean, that was just like a chaotic mess, and I think it perfectly reflected the way Hollywood was at the time. It's like kids these days are going to grow up and have love for it, and I think it'll grow on us over time, to be honest.
The door creaking is just killing
But it
me.
was a mess. It tried to be something cool and fit everyone and pander to everybody, and you just can't have something enjoyable that panders to everyone.
No, like the story has to remain authentic
Yeah,
and be what it is, and that's I like Revenge of the Sith. You know, that's a very serious movie, but it's it's just so well written, I feel. Like the scene between fuck Obi-Wan and Anakin what's the planet called?
Mustafar.
When they're on Mustafar.
Yeah, when they were fighting to the
Yeah,
yeah
yeah.
yeah
That was incredible.
Order 66.
That's Execute Order 66. Yes, I love that. I love
Commander
that.
Cody.
I love that. I hate Palpatine. Always hated Palpatine from day one,
But the
but
thing is, you're supposed to hate Palpatine.
yeah.
Palpatine is
Well,
evil,
yeah, of course.
and you love to hate him, which is why he's a good villain.
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong, compelling villains are also great. And it's weird because there's like the more you learn about the way that people justify things and uphold the empire and the regimes, it's like, oh my God, I get it. It's
Yeah.
like, and it's even worse because it's like on an objective level, I think the Empire would have done better for the galaxy than the New Republic did. Do I like the Empire? No, not at all. But I gotta be honest, on a whole scale, there was things that ended up happening in the future that don't happen in the movies that completely made me hate the New Republic.
Really.
Yeah, because of how they responded in times of crisis. The Empire might not have been really good most of the time, but when it comes to crisis, they could respond quickly. That's kind of the strengths and weaknesses of those different things. And I think we've already talked about this before.
Yeah.
But still, I love it.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl. That is one of my all-time favorite movies. I think about it every week,
Really,
all the time, dude.
I never think about it.
I think it was a huge part of how I got through my horrible, horrific childhood, okay? Truthfully. Movies like Shark Boy and Lava Girl, um, oh my gosh, things like that. And I was obsessed with Taylor Lautner. He was my first celebrity crush.
He was biggest crushes.
But not as Jacob, no, as Shark Boy. That's my inner child speaking, not me. But when I was a little girl, that's how I felt at the time. And as a teenager, I was more attracted to Edward.
Yeah.
As I'm talking their energies, you know?
Mm. Well, it's because as a kid, it's like, he's cool and macho
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
right? And he's a
exactly.
protector. But then when you became a teenager, you wanted someone who's more emotionally
Yeah,
mature.
exactly.
And it's like,
Though I will say Edward wasn't all that emotionally mature for a 116 or 60-year-old vampire.
oh no, God, that dude has the emotional maturity of a child.
In the
But
books, he's a lot better, but he's still sort of cringe, you know?
between the two of them, he's better,
Yeah.
to be honest. I think like, and obviously like Colin Hoover, no, sorry, is it Colin Hoover?
Depends on what you're asking.
Who
I don't
wrote
know.
that?
Who wrote what?
Twilight.
Twilight?
It was not Colin
Stephanie
Hoover,
Meyer.
Stephanie
Oh
Meyer. Yeah.
God, I'm offended. I can't believe you mixed up Stephanie Meyer and Colleen Hoover.
It's just names to me.
Oh my God, the writing styles are so, oh gosh.
Made no difference to me.
No,
They're just
listen.
writers.
No, Colleen Hoover is,
I'm just trying to offend you, right? Like,
oh, I'm so offended. Okay, I would appreciate Colleen Hoover's writing more if she didn't pack her stories full of like unwarranted, horrible, horrible, horrible scenes between men and women. And I get that this, that's for some of the books it makes sense because that's the nature of the story itself. But there are some stories where it's like, what? Where did that come from? Like, why was that necessary? That was just awful. And I feel like her writing sometimes feels very weird and gross. There's one story in particular, I don't even remember what it's called. I bleeped it out of my memory. I got rid of the book when we moved. I was like, I hate this. It's my least favorite book of 2024. Was one of Colleen Hoover's books.
well,
Yeah. Some of her stories are not too bad, you know? But again, she has this tendency to put things in the stories that really make zero sense to the characters or the story that she's been building. And so it just makes me feel like I don't know. Ugh. Hello.
I'm trying to think of different movies.
Air sign. Where'd you go?
I'm staring outside and thinking about how
But your face
pretty.
is always so blank too. I'm like, what is he thinking?
I'm like, it's so pretty outside. I was thinking about how pretty it was watching the trees glimmer in the sunlight. I was just love looking at nature. I like pretty things personally. I think everyone does, but like for me, I love looking at pretty gorgeous things. Makes me really happy. Which is why, in part, I have such a great partner.
Wait, what?
because you're a pretty gorgeous thing.
Oh, I was like, sorry, wait. Thank you. I just tasted turkey in my mouth. That's very weird.
Yeah, that's what the chicken tasted like last night. It was like turkey.
Turkey? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't eat mine. I didn't want my chicken. I just wanted rice and gravy and whatever else we had.
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato, yeah.
Yeah. I am I
You are what?
don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say there. I don't think there was a full thought.
Okay. What are some movies you want to watch?
Which,
Oh, wait, we didn't talk about Piece by Piece. Sorry.
oh my God, yeah.
Piece by Piece.
That was actually a really
Piece
good
by
movie.
Piece. It's a Lego movie.
Yeah, it's about what's the guy's name?
Pharrell Williams.
Yes. And his like life story. And it's really, really good.
It's on Peacock if you want to watch it. It's really good.
It was like energy changing, to be honest.
Yes. Totally shifted my energy.
Yep. And I didn't expect it to, but it's like when I tell you all that there were so many famous people in that movie,
There was, yeah.
and
Snoop Dogg.
yep, so many people that I never would have thought or would be involved. Gwen Stefani was in it.
Gwen Stefani was in it. I thought it was so funny, the little Lego figures, like how they were
Oh my
dancing.
God. I thought it was really funny when they were doing the music video. They had Lego figures and bikinis and stuff, and it
Yes.
was one of them was like throwing it back in a certain scene. It
In
was a
its slow
Lego
motion.
figure.
And
It
the
was
way
just
they edited it
Legos.
was so funny. You have to watch it. It's so good. So many good movies. So many good movies. Oh, can we talk about a movie I was a little underwhelmed with, like now that I think back on it? Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about some things just can't be recaptured.
It was a good movie, but it wasn't like it's not what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
I guess I felt like I don't know, what was it missing exactly?
It wasn't inspirational.
Okay, maybe
I
the writing.
like the first one was so good because it was an original thing. It hadn't been captured that way or done that way before.
Yeah,
And you really rooted for and it was written the exact same way the second time, but it was like sometimes you can it's like lightning in a bottle. You only get it once.
yeah.
To do it again, they did the exact same thing formulaically and it worked, but it wasn't worth the same because it wasn't a revelation.
They chose these really awesome A-list actors. They're good actors. But I just feel like the energy behind it was like they picked the most popular guys they could pick. Pedro Pascal, Paul Mescal, all the people, and they were like,
Denzel
okay,
Washington.
now do this. The guy from Stranger Things, Joseph Quinn,
Yep.
and they were like, do your worst. And it fell flat a little because I just felt like they only brought those men in to be, I don't know,
But that's the thing.
it's
Every
like
time,
clout chasey. It
but,
wasn't authentic.
but Pedro Pascal, I just love him in everything. I can't help it.
Yeah,
He
he's good
does
in
so
it.
good.
So did Paul Mescal. He did a really great
It's
job.
it's like if the writing fails, you can rely on the actors some, to be
Exactly,
honest.
yeah.
And I feel like it was just like, eh.
I think they carried the movie. I don't think the writing did its job all the way through. I think the actors carried the movie, which made me feel like I low-key didn't want to watch it because I could just feel it. As a medium, you feel an energy healer. You feel energy behind everything.
Mhm.
You can feel the energy behind a movie that's being made. And you can like not like it because maybe the energy when they made the movie was really toxic or weird. It ends with us. It ends with us. Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni. We need to fucking talk about this. This is big in my
You can
life.
talk about it. I have no idea.
Okay, I'll have to fill you in. All right. So that one of the first books I read of 2024 was It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, and the second book. And the character's name is Lily Bloom, and she opens up a flower shop because she loves flowers. And like it's a whole thing, but she ends up in these really bad um situations, specifically with this one guy. I don't remember what his name was, but he's a doctor or a neurosurgeon, I believe, and he has
Oops.
really bad anger issues and is an extremely abusive, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, is an extremely abusive partner. And so it's a movie about domestic abuse, and they fucking ruined it, okay? They took this movie, they took an opportunity that was so good to bring awareness to something that is so fucking unfortunately common. And the reason I went to see it is because I've been in some situations like this before. So I was like, I'll go do it. I'll go give it a shot. And fucking Blake Lively turned it into a fashion show for herself. She treated it like it was the fucking Met Gala and wore the most, oh my God, the outfits she wore, it felt like she was walking a red carpet. And she was just doing it like, look at me, look at me. I'm pay attention to me, even though this is a movie about something that's really fucking important, needs to be talked about. We need awareness for this. It was supposed to be an inspiring story, but Blake Lively ruined it. She rewrote one of the scenes, her and fucking Ryan Reynolds. Anyways, Justin Baldoni is the director and plays her counterpart in the movie, the guy she marries that ends up being like abusive. He plays him. And Blake Lively sued him, or yeah, they sued each other for defamation. And Blake Lively accused him of basically doing too much and that the intimacy coordinator wasn't there. Or, it was like there's a lot of drama with the movie, basically. And I couldn't figure out why I left the movie early and why I didn't like it. And then all that came out. So they were suing each other. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are getting canceled and exposed because they are horrible, basically, and took something that was supposed to be, a tribute to women that have survived domestic abuse, and it turned into a fucking fashion show for Blake Lively. The outfits are not even remotely accurate to the book. It's like she's wearing sparkly like stripper boots and like the craziest like she's like, and that would be fine if it was another story about something totally different, or even if it was a fashion show. Like, girl, if you want to do a fashion show, do a fashion show, but don't bring it into this movie about domestic abuse. Anyway, sorry, I could go on and on about this. Um, so I don't know what's going on in the trial now, but there's a whole trial that was going on. um, yeah. And Justin Baldoni he has like a podcast. He's one of those like men that's very, he's like, he's like the opposite of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. He's not perfect. I don't think he's perfect, but he is very much the opposite. So he was doing it for the right reasons, but she came in and like ruined it basically. And he like people pleased his way through certain situations basically. I think it's kind of his fault at, you know, like I feel like he people pleased her so hard and he was like a yes man and got himself into trouble and is sort of blaming it all on them. So I think it goes both ways. And that's why they're like suing each other. They're mad about the film and the backlash and all that. They're blaming each other like, well, this is why it went bad. It's because she did this and it's very silly. Thoughts?
A movie about a toxic relationship turns into a toxic relationship outside of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really bad. It's really fucking bad, dude. But I want to say the stuff that's coming out about Ryan Reynolds is really scaring me because there's a lot of men in Hollywood that they come off as very charming and very like, ah, ha, ha, look at me, ah, la, la. But he's actually very controlling and like kind of crazy. Like evidence is coming out about him. And I'm like, kind of
There's
ruins
only one person in Hollywood that I actually really like
who?
men wise. And there's a lot of them that I like, but there's one that I really, really like.
Pedro Pascal?
That's no, I think back. There's two that I really, really like. I could probably go on and on, but
Who else?
he played an uncle. He played in Superman.
Henry Cavill.
There we go.
Yeah.
He played as The Witcher. As a person, I feel like I love his energy.
Yeah, he does feel good, doesn't he?
He feels really good. I've like that's the thing. I've never had a great feeling about um
Ryan Reynolds.
exactly.
He's very cocky and egotistical and gets what he
Exactly.
wants all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, he buys people out of things. I feel like he's just a very greedy, controlling individual.
Yeah. I like he's fine, you know. He's just a Hollywood actor, but like there's just other ones where I'm like, you're a good person. You feel like you're a good person. He feels like he's kind of in his ego all the time. Henry Cavill feels very grounded in reality.
Yeah.
He keeps himself humble. He's humble. That's what it is.
Anthony Stewart Head is one of my favorite actors. He plays Giles in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, he's a Leo.
I like Pedro Pascal because he also feels humble. Like he's definitely more cocky too, but he's
Yeah,
also like I don't know, he just feels like he's warm. I feel warm when I watch him do anything. He cares.
yeah. He seems very sweet. Jack Black seems pretty cool.
Yep. Jack Black had to get humbled too.
Really?
Yeah,
I
about
didn't
his
know
like
this.
when he first got famous, he turned into a complete asshole. By his
Oh,
own count, by the way. Like this
really?
out of his own story, he said like I was an asshole and like everyone I was like expectational and egotistical because he got famous real quick and he just like the fame went straight to his head, which is
Oh,
why he acts so silly now and doesn't take himself seriously.
he had to go through an ego death.
Exactly.
Wow, that's so interesting.
And all of us love Jack Black because of that, because he's not
Trisha
egotistical.
Paytas. She's not like a A-list actor.
Yeah.
Do you know Trisha?
Do you know who I always get a weird feeling about?
Who?
Is oh God, what is that one lady who I can't think of her damn name now. Jennifer something.
Jennifer. Jennifer.
Coolidge?
Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah,
You have a weird feeling about Jennifer
I
Coolidge?
do. I do.
Wow.
Something about her energy. Every time I see her, it just I don't like
I
it.
feel like the 4th of July.
It feels showy and inauthentic.
I'm taking a dog. Oh, the birds are so happy.
I love it because all they're doing is just screaming that they want to fuck. Like
Stop.
I hope y'all are
Can
all
you
aware of
stop?
that.
No.
Life revolves around one thing and one thing only.
Don't even. Don't even.
What I was gonna say happiness and joy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you were.
What are you doing? Are you trying to grab me with your feet?
Yes. Yeah. Jennifer Coolidge. Interesting.
I
I
don't
wasn't
know.
expecting
I
that.
just have a weird feeling about her. Like I wouldn't I just don't want anything to do with her.
It's so funny. I was watching the Just Trish podcast, and Trisha's husband Moses was talking about Benson Boone. Have you ever heard of him?
Nope.
Okay, well, he's a music artist and he does like backflips on the stage and he's like crazy on the stage. And Moses was saying something like he must be stopped. Now all these other artists are trying to do backflips and they're landing on their heads and like hurting themselves.
Oh my God.
And I thought that was so funny. I thought that was so fucking hilarious.
You know what I really liked about Piece by Piece is they addressed the energy vampires riding your coattails.
Yeah.
They really did a good job of handling that.
Yeah.
And being honest about what a person goes through when they fall prey to their ego. And he it was like on top of the world, crashed down because he listened to the wrong people and listened to his ego instead of his heart
Yeah.
and lost himself.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that vulnerability, honesty in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, he talked about it, was open about how he felt. I like him. I like his energy. It was so interesting to see someone that's so like famous be able to come back to their real self after being exposed to so much, money.
And yes men.
And yes, men,
I
exactly.
don't like yes men, to be honest.
Oh no, me either.
Like I don't put up with it. I don't like it. They make me feel gross because I'm like, you're not humble and you're also only here because someone's succeeding. You're not there because
Right.
it's what actually you enjoy. So I don't like it when
I
people do
know a
that.
few people like that.
Yeah.
I've met some people like that. I really have. Um, just in my time on, okay, so I'll tell you my personal story. No, I'm not fucking famous. I'm not famous, never been famous. I have gone sort of viral. Like, I don't know if this is considered viral, but like 35,000 followers.
Yeah.
Sort of. And a lot of my videos were popping off. And at that point in time, I went from having like zero people talking to me. I was very much a loner to having all these people in my DMs wanting to get readings with me, wanting to book with me and get to know me and be friends with me. Be friends with me, quotes, be friends with me. They're not trying to be friends with me. They were definitely trying to ride off of my coattails as my account was growing bigger, a lot of people were like, hey, like we should
Hmm.
work together. We should do this. And that still happens where people really, really, really want to work with us because they want to get something from us. But at the same time, there are good people that are like, I just like you, like you have good energy. I feel drawn to you. Those people I like. But there are some people I'm like, I don't want to work with you because the only reason you want to do this is to
It's not for the right reasons.
benefit from me.
Even if it's not that, sometimes it's just that they're avoiding certain things, and it's
True.
just they're like I think everyone has their own energies. If you want to express it in your own space,
Yeah.
that's fine. But like I think even when it comes to like my community, I'm very protective over my community and the
Yeah.
way we do things.
Yeah.
And I've had people ask a lot, especially in the past, about doing things together. And I think sometimes I think like, oh yeah, that might be nice, but I always end up not doing it because it doesn't feel right.
Well,
It never
yeah.
feels in alignment for me.
It just depends on the time and the place and the person. And if I don't know you well enough to do a live stream with you or anything like that, then I'm just not going to. If
Yep.
you haven't, shown it's sort of like if you can hang, sure. If you can't hang, leave.
Also, if they don't have the same boundaries or the
Yeah,
same morality or principles, I don't want that person having influence
exactly.
over my space.
Exactly. And I think if you can't even go live on your own account on a regular basis and you're wanting to go live on mine, that's a red flag for me. Do your own live streams and show yourself,
Hmm.
You show yourself and maybe I'll let you on my account. But it's like you can't just benefit from me. You haven't done the work yourself. Go do the work yourself and then we'll talk.
Do you remember that one person who tried to buy your account from you?
Oh my God. And I blocked them because it was fucking weird.
Yep.
Yeah. I basically, okay, that account I was telling you guys about, the one with like 35,000 followers, that one's still active. Well, it's not active per se. The videos are still up and I'm leaving them up because they help people. But I don't use it. I don't go live on it. Kind of just wanted to start over. Now I have another TikTok account with almost 5,000 followers, but I'm building this one in a different energy because I learned from the first one, it's better to have a good quality amount of people, like the quality of individuals around you matters more than the quantity. So I quit people pleasing, and that meant a lot of people no longer wanted to be around me. Is because I was no longer people pleasing. I was no longer sitting stagnant. I wasn't keeping my mouth shut anymore. And that tells you who your real fucking friends are,
Hmm.
okay? If you go to your friends and say, hey, you know, and tell them anything and they're not supportive or they give you negativity or, that's not a friend. That's not a friend.
I think there's a fine balance between that too. I agree absolutely when it's in that the way that you mean it, but I also think sometimes it is a friend's duty to call you out when you're
Well, no, that's not at all what I'm talking
yeah.
about. I'm talking about if they give you negativity or if they give you shit and it's not warranted,
Hmm.
That's not a friend. I did have like people that would message me and try to give me input on my career when I didn't fucking ask for it, or on my appearance, or on other things. Like people think that just because they watch your videos and just because they hang out with you in your streams is that you owe them something somehow. That is not the truth, you know?
Yeah.
The only thing we can do is be authentic and genuine. And if you really connect with me, stick around, hang out with us. But if you don't connect, you should leave.
Yep.
Trust your intuition before you start to act weird towards me and get mad at me for being my authentic self. Just leave if you don't like me. That's what I do when I don't like someone. I leave. So I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned is say it for what it is, call people out. Your real friends will understand that you have to be authentic and genuine to how you feel, and what you're going through.
Yep.
It
I'll,
is your journey after all.
I'll drop anyone from my life. Honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, no, like I do matter. You matter. As individuals, we matter. And if I'm not seeing my own individual worth, I can't expect anybody else to, take me seriously.
Hmm.
I have to take myself seriously in that way, take my energy seriously, take my power back. Okay, this person is harmful to me in my life. This person's mean to me. This person doesn't feel good. They have to go.
And I think there's an issue that I've seen with a lot of the way people respond to certain conflict, which is, well, I need a reason. Like they think that they need a reason to do things,
Yeah,
so they wait and search for it. You don't always need a reason. If you don't feel safe
right.
and they're not open to communicating,
But this person didn't like outright do anything wrong, you know?
you don't go into dark alleys expecting to have fun there.
Right.
You know, if they feel like a dark alley, you avoid a dark alley. You don't go searching into it like, oh, there's probably not something bad. Of course, there's probably something bad in that dark alley.
Yeah, you shouldn't walk towards danger just because you're scared to say no or you don't want to hurt someone's feelings or yeah, no, because you never know what that person is hiding. You never know what that person who that person really is. If your energy tells you that that person is off, you better trust it. You better trust your intuition. Sometimes that can be more serious in a more serious case. Other times it's just maybe your body is telling you not to eat chocolate ice cream right before bed.
Also, sometimes it's not a, oh my God, I gotta block this person kind of energy. It's they're not in the right mindset right now. I don't want to be around that.
Yeah.
Sometimes when people are going through when they're going through it, you just can't be around them. There's nothing wrong with that. You gotta protect your own energy. And it's not a personal thing.
I will block people. Like, I'm the kind of person that's if you are I've been through a lot in my life. I don't have t more time or space to give to people that are not ready to heal themselves. Truly, as I spent my whole life around that, and that's not something I ever want more of. I am in the era of my life where I protect my fucking peace, and if you don't like it, get over it. That's just how it's gonna be? And as an adult, I can make that decision. I don't need somebody giving me permission to be outspoken or to speak my opinion or to feel what I feel. I don't need permission to be myself.
I
I
mean,
am myself, whether you like it or not.
even just this morning, I did a stream and had someone come in and say some stupid shit who had been there for since my beginning with it. They always quietly
I almost name dropped him. Not his last name, but his first name.
yeah. And for me, it was like why? Why even do that? I'm glad that they showed their true colors. Don't get me wrong. I'm always appreciative when people show me who they really are.
Yeah.
But at the same time, why choose to be that way?
Yeah, it's I did do that cord cutting with energy vampires though, and then he came out, so
But it's the funny thing to me is like if I'm willing to burn my entire life down, you think somebody that I don't even really know is going to make any consequence to
exactly.
me?
I'm like, you think you mean that much to me, but you really don't.
I've destroyed my own world multiple times, and you think that you mean something.
Yeah. It's so uncomfortable taking your power back because you almost want to stay in your ego and be like, no, I don't feel or have opinions or, you know, I'm just gonna sit and be quiet or, in parentheses, you can just call it for what it is, stagnant.
Yep.
I'm just gonna be stagnant. I don't want to speak up or ruffle any feathers, but if you act that way, if you're the kind of person that does that, unfortunately, you're part of the problem.
Yep.
It is what it is because you're showing this person because they're not just treating you that way. If someone's treating you poorly, likely they're treating other people poorly as well, you know? So it really is about like, all right, by me taking a step back and, blocking this person or calling them out, I am taking my power back and this person will forever be changed because I didn't enable it. I challenged their ego. Someone had to do it. Someone has to do the hard thing. And as hard as, it's very hard. It's very hard. Nobody likes to be blocked or to block others.
Nope.
I don't like doing it. I don't like when people make me feel unsafe to the point where I have to block them.
I don't like it when people are that unsafe with themselves. Because I know even though I keep it around my life, I know that other people are not willing to do the same.
Yeah. I've had friends that I've had to let go of because they wouldn't let go of things that were bad for them, and it was starting to hurt me too.
Like toxic partners.
Yeah,
Like you can be
unfortunately.
a good person and have a toxic partner, and I'll block you because you're not willing to set boundaries with them.
Well, their partners, if they're like they treat them poorly, but they also treat you poorly. And you're like, I don't have to put up with that. Just because you're putting up with that doesn't mean I have to put up with that. I had a friend that had a partner that was so fucking weird towards me. Ugh, he was so weird.
Yep.
Ugh.
A lot of the like when we first got out, you and I, a lot of the people that we got close with, we ended up having to leave behind
Yeah,
because they were not loving themselves. They were putting themselves in situations that were um, hurtful, willingly and knowingly doing that to themselves.
the only person I have let get close to me is you.
And even that is a challenge.
Even that is a challenge. So the rest of y'all gonna have to wait your turn because your girl's healing from trauma. I'm trying to get close to y'all. I really am. And I do feel I have close friends, right?
Hmm.
I don't want y'all to feel like, oh, I'm not her friend. No, you're my friend. You're one of my best friends. But I will always, for at least the first year or so that we're friends, I'm going to struggle to let you in at times. And I'm going to do it anyways because I always challenge myself that way. I will always tell you when I'm going through something so that way you're not like, where's Satori? What's wrong with her? I'll tell you. If you're my friend, of course I'm going to tell you. I'm going through something, my energy's a little off, so I'm going to pour into myself right now.
I
As
think
simple as that.
I've definitely seen a lot in this career though that people get offended when you don't want to be friends with them or close to them.
Well, yeah,
They take
it's
it so personally. I'm like, guys, it's not that personal.
and I do consider y'all like my acquaintances and some of y'all my friends. I do, but I have like Cameron and then my close, like my best friends.
Yep.
And that's a small circle and it's going to remain that way.
Hmm. I understand
And
why
I don't
people
have
want
to
to be a
explain
friend,
myself to anybody,
but to be
but
honest, some people are just not ready, and
well,
that's not a problem. They're on a different wavelength.
it's not even really about that for me. It's more so about I don't even have the time or energy to give to you, you know? Like, because again, I have you, I have myself, my dogs, you, my best friends.
Yep.
Outside my career,
Hmm.
outside of that, when am I going to be able to give you that energy? Not anytime soon. So please don't expect it from me because I can't. I have people that message me a lot and I so appreciate I love when people message me. I love when people message me and are like, "Hey, this is what I've been up to. How you doing?" Things like that. I appreciate that, but I don't always get back right away. um, because I want to make sure I can give them an actual thoughtful response. I'm not one for like
Half-assed.
surface level stupid conversations. I would prefer it to be an authentic conversation. If I can't show up to you fully and authentically, you're not going to hear from me straight up.
Yep.
You just won't hear from me. I won't speak either. Like I'm known to like walk out of something just which has triggered a lot of people, I think.
I think we do have that tendency to trigger a lot of people,
Yeah, we do,
and I'm fine with that. So sometimes y'all need triggering,
honestly,
and I
truthfully.
need triggering.
I need
I
triggering.
welcome it. Like I've learned that it's not a problem to get triggered. Sometimes
No,
it's
it's
just
not.
something that it's either a reflection of your own boundaries being crossed that you need to be more apparent of, or it's a reflection of something that you need to heal.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like, I'm really glad we have this podcast to kind of come on and talk about these things because, boy, we need to. We need to. It can be a lot sometimes to just sort of have everyone expecting things from you and not really caring about how you feel.
Yeah. And I don't think that that's the majority of our community at
No,
all.
not at all. But
Definitely not. But the world at times can be that way.
yeah, and sometimes in the community.
Yeah,
Why are we
sometimes.
lying about that? Like, it is sometimes in the community. Sometimes there are individuals that make me feel like if I can't give them the attention they need right away, then I'm a bad teacher, mentor, or friend, or whatever. I've been made to feel that way by others' lack of healing because maybe they have owned it or maybe they haven't. That's not for me to figure out. But it can be really overwhelming. Because you see all these beautiful people and you're like, man, I wish I could help every single one of you all the time. But I fucking can't. I wish I could, but I can't. I just want to spend time with my family, cook dinner, watch movies, and take care of myself. And then if I have energy to give to y'all, I will.
Yep. I'm
Yeah.
hungry. I'm getting kind of hangry.
What do you want
I
to
don't
eat?
know, to be
What are we
honest.
gonna cook? We have food here?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you want to check?
Yeah. I
Okay.
was thinking about ending the podcast and going to look.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, we are going to end the podcast here for today. Thank you guys for listening. Leave us some comments, whether you're listening on Spotify or YouTube. You can leave us some comments with questions or topics you want us to talk about, or if you just want to comment on, any kind of thoughts you had throughout the podcast, we're happy to hear them. Jasmine, we appreciated that you took so much time to, type out such a long, thoughtful response.
It took a minute
Um,
to read, so I know it took a minute to write.
I know, I know.
I
We appreciate it. It made us feel loved and seen, so thank you. Anything else?
just want to say that I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. Even when we rant about a bunch of different things in the community, it's like, or people, it's not the majority of it. It's more so the things that go unsaid or unseen.
This is like therapy for me. I need this for
Exactly.
my mental health, and we don't have a lot of people listening right now, so I feel safe to talk about things. I'm like, let's go. And even if there were a lot of people listening, I'd say the same damn things.
That's right. Ego challenge people everywhere. They have the choice to listen or not,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Can't lie. Just gotta be yourself.
Yeah. So,
All right.
but I just really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day
Yep.
to engage with us and to be a part of our lives. It does have a lot of value to it to us.
One more bong rippy. This is the third.
I'm off to go figure out what we can eat here, if anything.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna think about the intention I want to set for this bong rip. I'm thinking I want to set the intention that we do more episodes because this was incredible. So love you guys. Let's take a bong rippy. Cheers. All right. Peace.